So I'm back after a while because it's been a very hectic because it's towards the end of the month. It's very difficult at the hospital to get all the accounts and everything ready. So, but I have been able to keep up with my reading at night and during the weekend. So I had a good break during the weekend, which I caught up on most of my stuff. And obviously the last book that I was reading, or that I read, before this one was The Memory Garden by Rachel Ho, and it was obviously a very disappointing read. And I wanted to, like, the next book I wanted to be like, this has to change my mind about what I just read, or it has to refresh me, because I don't know what The Memory Garden was, but it was not as advertised. And I immediately got into this one, which is The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah, and words don't do this book justice because of how amazing it is. From start to finish, this book was a masterpiece in terms of the writing, the characters, the historical aspects of it, the things that you'd never expect to find in a book. But obviously, before I go off into a tangent, let me give you some background. So this is The Nightingale, and it's based on World War II. It's just as World War II is about to start and covers all the way up until World War II ends. It's written in the perspective of two sisters, so it kind of goes from like the backgrounds of what their family was like, what their personal lives are like, who they are as individuals, and they're very two different people. So you've got Vienne, the older sister, and you've got Isabel, the younger sister. Vienne is a lot more family oriented, but she kind of, at the very beginning of the book, or even towards the middle, she kind of lives in her own little bubble where everything is kind of perfect, and she shies away from issues. She wants to like live in that bubble where everything is okay, everything is perfect, until literally the war walks through her house in the form of a Nazi that's billeted in, I'm pretty sure how that's like who that is. He's living in the house now, and now she has no excuse, no escape, and she kind of starts to deal with it in her own way, which is questionable once again. And then you've got the younger sister Isabel, who actually the book is titled after. So she's called the Nightingale because of how, like, it's her last name, but it's also like, as a young woman in the war, she knew that she needed to do something. She knew like what was happening in her country was wrong, and she, against all odds, she saved people. She chose selflessness, she chose courage, and she made a massive difference. And the plot twist here for me was, within the first chapter, it was talking about like the background of a person, and like there was like a chest of things that the older lady in the future was opening, and it was about the Nightingale and the alias that Isabel used while she was like doing her work in the during the war. So in my head this whole time I'm reading the book, and I thought this old lady was actually Isabel, and she's now like reliving her past because she's invited to go and celebrate the life of the Nightingale and the people that she saved throughout her like 3, 4 or 5 years, and the sacrifices she made. But then there was a speech that was given in like the penultimate chapter, or the last one, and it broke my heart because Isabel died. Isabel died, and this whole book is like, it's a memoir of her, and I feel so sorry for this girl who was so young. She went through like saving other people's lives constantly till she was captured and she was put into like a concentration camp, and she lost a piece of herself along the way, and she lost her. It was, during the book, it was highlighted so often that she was a beautiful girl inside and out. Like she's full of life, full of vibrance, and she's beautiful on the exterior. And towards the end of the book, she went through this concentration camp and she was broken as a soul. Like she no longer wanted to wake up. She could feel herself inside like dying. Her strength was slowly diminishing. She was like the light that was within her was slowly diminishing. And towards the end of the book, like she just wasn't herself, and she was like, I hope like her sister remembers her. I hope the people that she saved remembered her. And I started crying because this, so sad. It was such a tragedy, but beautifully written. And I have nothing but high praise for the Nightingale and Kristin Hannah. I can't wait to read some of her other books, because if it's anything like this, it's beautiful, just beautiful. And this is exactly the kind of book I want to like get my hands on, because there were funny moments, but there was such heart-wrenching moments in this book, and you can't find that in many other ones. And tragic. Like it really opens your eyes to what a war, living inside a war is like, and being a woman is like, because there's no escape. You might not be in the war, you might not be fighting, but it's still in your doorstep. It's still around you. So as soon as I finished this beautiful book, Nightingale by Kristin Hannah, I immediately started on, not immediately, I took a day. I started on this one. It's The Shadow Sister by Lucinda Riley. It's the third installment of the Seven Sisters series. And I obviously like the second book, which is based on the second sister called Ali, and that is called The Storm Sister. I didn't like the book. Because I don't know if I didn't like the character. I don't like the way she rushed the book. There was so many different aspects of the book that just didn't seem to like mesh together. But this one, The Shadow Sister, is really good. Like from the perspective of Star, who is the main third sister, from her perspective, I love the way it's written. I love her personality. I understand the character. And also, like, you also get the ancestor, which is obviously like a common theme in the Lucinda Riley Seven Sisters series, is that she reflects on a different person from her past, which in this one is Flora. And I also resonate with Flora, and I really like her personality as well, and it makes sense. There's no whiplash in this book, and it's funny. The last few books, like the last two books, didn't have that kind of humor, but I find Star to be quite funny, despite the fact she's a very quiet sister. She's very shadow, and it also kind of applies to her, the shadow sister, but it also applies to Flora as well, because Flora has a younger sister, and in that she's kind of like, she's put on second place, and her parents, like, there's an obvious difference in the preference between Flora and Aurelia, which is the sister. And so the title resonates to both of them, and I'm actually quite far into it because it's such a good read. I think I'm on like page 350. Yeah, page 350, so I've only got like halfway to go. Really good book. There's a lot more like twists and turns that I'm waiting to find out, because I know there's a bit of history like along Flora's ancestry. I think her parentage, that's not discussed yet, but I know she's not who she says she is, and I don't think she also knows. That was a lot to talk about, but I'm very excited to finish this book. And of course, because I've been taking so long to put up a new video, it took a while. Like, there's a lot to cover, so it's going to be a long video. But I finally have my book club book, which was an unexpected pick, because initially it was supposed to be tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. I think there's only 3 tomorrows. But we couldn't find it. So my friend settled on this one, Happily Never After, and it's by Lynn Painter. And I didn't read this, but I am now. When Zoe finds out right before getting married that she's been cheated on again, it's time for drastic action. What the hell? Alright, it's supposed to be a comedy. It's supposed to be intriguing. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt because, you know, she chose it without understanding like what it was. So here we are. This is my next book after My Shadow Sister. I've got one more book that I need to read from my haul, but I will put my TBR list out for this month. I've taken some screenshots and pictures of the books that I wanted. Obviously the next one, I think the installment is supposed to be The Pearl Sister or Moon Sister. I think it's The Pearl Sister, which I will definitely be getting. Yeah, The Pearl Sister. I'll definitely be getting, so that's a guaranteed. And I've also got a Kristin Hannah book I want to buy for next time as well. So that is a bit of my September reads that's going to be happening. That's The Shadow Sister, Happily Never After. There's another one I have, and I'll be starting on my September haul. When I go and buy the new books, I'll put up a new video. I really hope I can take you like the camera along and like kind of take a video of the bookstore and me like picking through the books, but I'm so camera shy. I mean, like I'm awkward in front of people to like have my phone out recording stuff and be like, this is what I'm doing today. Whew. You live and you learn, right? But okay, so that's this week's video. I want to put up another one as soon as I finish The Shadow Sister, and when I'm about to start Happily Never After. So I'm excited. It's a long video, but a lot of stuff I needed to say. Fun, very fun. Great reads, no disappointments this week. Thank you.